Hello, comrades, and welcome back to Ushanka Show. Здравствуйте, товарищи. Quite often people complain that when we show in our videos some Soviet-era posters, we don't provide translations. And I'm very sorry for that. It's just, what is the expression? It falls between the Soviet cracks. So today we're gonna try to fix that, and we will show you quite a few of Soviet safety-related posters. I think they look quite amazing, and I will translate and discuss them. Poster number 1. Don't wipe the drums while they're in motion. Well, it's quite obvious. It's not a good idea to wipe whatever moving equipment. In this case, there's some kind of gears or the equipment that squeezes some stuff to remove moisture or something, so it's definitely good idea to secure equipment. And I would say if you turn the drums off, you probably should want to put some kind of tag that says, hey, don't touch this equipment because it's being maintained. But you see it's pretty graphic, doesn't show any blood, but you know the guy is in trouble. So don't wipe drums while they're in motion. Poster number 2. Укладывай кирпич правильно. So you supposed to stack the bricks properly, and on the left there is the little hint. It says that you cannot stack bricks higher than 25 bricks. So if you stack them too high, they will tip over and can crush you. So stack the bricks properly. There is no message in the poster number 3, except they show that you need to verify before you disassemble any system that doesn't have any pressure in it. So the guy didn't look, system still pressurized, you remove the bolts or nuts, and as a result you can get hurt, get sprayed with water or chemicals. So here it's pretty advanced equipment, I would say. It has the pressure gauges, a guy wearing a hard hat, so he's some kind of maintenance worker at the power plant or something like that. Ограждай конец вала. Install guards at the ends of the shafts. So it seems like it was a popular way of getting hurt at the Soviet factories is to get in contact with the spinning equipment, shafts and whatsoever. So here they just show you guys shoveling a coal, backing into the spinning shaft and getting caught. Осторожно с цапкой. And that word цапка, I'm not really familiar with it, but it looks like it's a hoe. I hope I'm saying the word correctly, because the hoe means something else too, so you need to be careful with the hoe, so don't get distracted as you see the lady is looking wrong way while she is striking her colleague on her foot. So осторожно с цапкой. Hey ho, be careful with the hoe. Не снимай ногой приводного ремня. Don't use your foot to kick off the belt. So it's some kind of drive belt. On the background looks like oil derricks, so that's a safety poster from the oil industry. And this one is pretty graphic, it just shows you what can happen if you get your foot stuck into the drive belt. Смотри под ноги, watch your feet or watch where you're stepping. So this is another poster relates to the bricks, and you could tell, so this one is from the early times of the Soviet Union, probably like 20s, maybe 30s, because the guy wearing these old-fashioned shoes made from lipa, linden tree bark. So you strip the bark from the linden tree and then you weave this type of shoes. So like a classic, like people in Holland had those wooden shoes, clacks, whatever. So in Russia, peasants were making shoes out of the linden tree bark, and they call lapti. So this guy is wearing lapti, so that's why it looks like it's a pretty old poster. And also notice that special device to carry bricks. So this is the wooden board with a couple pegs that you stack your bricks on it. Не работай с неподвязанной шлангой. So that's his oil industry, definitely. Don't work with unsecured hoses. And it's interesting, my impression that the word schlang, probably came from German, was a male form, but here says неподвязанной шлангой, so that's a female form. But definitely oil industry, don't work with unsecured hoses because they can knock you down. Не бросай в трюм стропов без предупреждения. Don't throw down into the bulkheads of the ship straps, whatever used for rigging, without warning. So you just definitely from shipping industry, you need to use warning before you toss anything down to the bulkheads for the people. Don't walk under the transmission shaft or under the PTO, as some people corrected me when I posted that poster on YouTube. So this is one of the most graphic posters I've seen. It looks scary, and I guess that's the best way to attract attention and make people pay attention, is to make it really graphic and scary. So as you see, one more time, there is a shaft which is not doesn't have any guards installed. So it tells you to be careful and watch out. Quite a good art. It looks really scary. Берегись буферов. Now that's definitely a railroad safety poster. So this guy, he's like inspector checking out the railroad cars, and I'm not sure how to translate buffer, maybe buffer, but that's those ends of the trains that come in contact to stick together kinda. And it's funny because we also have a slang expression, buffer, so you call female breasts буфера because they stick out, and two of them, just like a train car. Привязывайся при работах на крутых крышах. So use the safety harness while working on the steep roofs. Well, we got roofing safety, and definitely one of the scariest jobs you can do is put metal roofing and not to have any safety harnesses. Actually, there are some videos on YouTube, like from modern Russia, when people climb on those type of roofs to push the snow down, and then a guy slips and just goes down. Looks very scary. Actually, a long time ago, I did some roofing projects here in Michigan, and I used the roofing nails to install, so you nail these brackets on the roof, and then you put the boards so people can stay on the board and do the roofing. So they told me to install a couple of those, and I used the roofing nail, which is really short, and I drove them into the asphalt shingles, so shingles were holding us, and it came down with us. Fortunately, there was a one-story house, ranch type home, and it was winter, so we fell into the snow. So it was funny, but of course if it's a 5-story building, it won't be funny. Осторожно при натяжке проводов. So here's probably it's a more electrical safety, although it doesn't show anything that hints you that a guy is getting hurt by electricity. But it's basically a message: be careful while stretching the wires, or probably installing the wires. So there's once again, there's industrial background, and the guy is installing the wires, but I don't see any safety equipment for him to wear. Ратозей, не калечь друзей. This is interesting because it actually rhymes. Ратозей is the person who always distracted, so the guy is not looking which way he's going. So it's the distracting guy, don't hurt your friends. Ратозей, не калечь друзей. So if you don't pay attention where you're going, being distracted, you can knock somebody off the ladder. Не загромождай рабочего места. So don't get your workplace messy and trashed. So definitely, like, I learned that you need to leave your work area in a better condition than found. So it's definitely, if you're gonna leave a bunch of stuff laying on the floor, you can trip and get hurt. The only thing I notice here is the guy doesn't wear any safety gloves while using tools. Осторожнее с лопатой. Be careful with the shovel. This is pretty neat art. I like the way it's like the watercolors, and it's another kind of the old, probably 20s poster, because once again, workers wearing lapti, those wooden strip shoes, and looks like they're loading coal. So once again, the art is good. It definitely shows a good moment. Be careful while you're shoveling coal, so you don't hit other people hurt around you. Осторожно с вилами. Be careful using pitchforks. Вилы, they are dangerous. Actually, my late uncle Misha, the artist, when he was a kid, he had his foot not calved, but his foot. But I think he stepped. Somebody left the pitchforks laying in the hay, and he didn't notice, and he stepped on them, and he got them poked right through his foot. And I worked a lot with pitchforks back in the village, helping my grandparents or our neighbors put the hay in the piles, and I was always horrified because the ends are so pointy, so sharp, and it was so easy to get hurt with those. And another interesting detail, here they show people from Southern Republic, so that's maybe Uzbekistan or Tajikistan, because they wear those interesting, funny-looking hats. На палатях не оставляй ничего неукрепленным. Pretty long message. And once again, that's a quite old word, palati. I think it means scaffolding. So while you're working on scaffolding, don't leave anything unsecured. So, and this is a pretty graphic poster. So the guy left a hammer unsecured, kicked it with his foot, and it landed on the below, and the person not wearing hard hat, and he got his whole face messed up pretty bad. And that's a quite common injury during the construction, because people work on different heights using scaffold, and things falling off the scaffold all the time. Не открывай крышки над трипалом до полного останова машины. Once again, I don't know even what it means in Russian, tripala. On the background you see that equipment, so the guy opened the cover, so it says don't open covers above tripalo until the complete stop. So tripalo, it looks like that device was the pointy metal thing, so it's catching something to move along. I don't know, maybe cotton or some other stuff that needs to be processed, so it's usually protected with the cover. So this guy opened the machine before it completely stopped, got his hand caught and got hurt really bad. Another extremely graphic safety poster. Не носи бутылей без пробок. So don't carry bottles or jugs without covers, the plugs in the bottle, and the bottle itself says кислота, which means acid. So once again, it's probably pretty old, early 20s, 30s poster. People just use this. It's actually, I think it's made from the willow tree. You use those skinny branches to weave a basket for carrying bottles. I remember my grandfather, his big jugs, glass jugs that he stored moonshine, they also had this weaved basket around them made out of pussy willow. Не работай с кувалдой, плохо насажденной. It almost sounds like a Mayakovsky. It's one of the early famous Soviet poets, because I'm like eager to continue this message. Не работай с кувалдой плохо насажденной, потому что твой друг будет убиенный, because your friend will get killed. So kuvalda is like a sledgehammer, so it says make sure that the sledgehammer, that metal part, is properly installed and secured, otherwise it can fly off the stick and hit your coworker. Не проверяй пальцем, есть ли напряжение. Don't check with your fingers if there is a current. So this is another pretty scary looking electrical safety poster, and shows you how the current is going to travel through your body if you check current with your fingers. I wasn't checking, but I got myself twice I won't say struck, but felt current with my fingers, because if you were in Europe and in Soviet Union, of course, too, we used 220 instead of 110 volts at home. So it's pretty painful, and twice by accident I touched, like someone nailed the wires using metal nails, and I touched that nail, and it was pretty ugly. Не ходи по рыбе. Don't step on a fish. I find this one is pretty hilarious. So this is definitely a fishing industry safety poster, and I guess there was a fish laying all over the place, and fish is slippery, so you want to be safe, you don't step on a dead fish. I was drunk at work. It's pretty depressing poster here. Guy looks rough and he's missing one of limbs. Don't drink before coming to work. It's better to drink after you're done with work, like my dad did for years, and he kept all his limbs. Остерегайся удара зюзьгой. Another safety poster from fishing industry. No idea what zюzьга is, but this is the long pole that you use to catch fish with. So there's a fish net on the end of it, and I guess you need to watch out and don't stay right behind the guy who's catching the fish, otherwise you can lose an eye. Не надевай ремень на ходу. Don't install the belt while equipment is running. Well, that's pretty obvious. You always have to secure equipment. You want to put danger tags from preventing other people to starting equipment, then you can work on it. Не туши водой электромотора. Электромотор is supposed to be. Вода – проводник электричества. Don't use the water to extinguish fires on electrical engines. Water is a conductor of electricity. And once again, a little diagram showing how the electricity will go from electric coils through your body and into the ground. Наверху работают. Не стой под мачтой. So this is the message. If someone works above you, don't stay below. There's equipment that people work above. Machta, it's like a tower, I guess. So don't stay under a tower, because you can get hit in the head. Прячь волосы. This one is one of the scariest safety posters from Soviet Union I've seen. So it's like hide your hair, if you translate it exactly word for word, but mostly be like more tuck away your hair. So you can picture what's coming up next after your hair get caught on a shaft. Умей освободить пострадавшего от тока. При невозможности отключения руби провода. Know how to help the person that gets electrical shock. If you can't disconnect the wires, the electricity, cut the wires. So you could tell, one of the biggest pushes that was happening after October Revolution was electrification всей страны, the electrification of the whole country. It was one of the Lenin's big ideas. And so a lot of people were not familiar with electricity. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I have so many safety posters that relates to electricity and its dangers. All right, so we just went through 30 extremely gruesome and depressing safety posters from Soviet Union. So in order to cheer you up, guys, let's take a look at some. This is not old. This is the newest, and I guess you can call it Soviet pinup style posters. So they are a little bit naughty, but still totally innocent. So there you go. There's a picture from construction site, building Soviet apartment buildings, and it says «Передавай свой опыт молодым». Share your experience with the young ones. Оказывай помощь начинающему водителю. Give a hand to the new drivers. This is a very cute one. If you follow my channel, you should know by now about our soda machines that existed in Soviet Union from probably like 50s, 60s, and all the way into 90s. So that's the public, kind of like a drinking hole. You wash community glass, but with a little bit of cold water, and then you buy some lemon flavor or other fruit flavor drink, which cost was 3 kopecks. So the next poster will be related to these газированная вода machines. There is not really a safety message here, but it definitely need to be careful filling up your glass, otherwise you can get sprayed with soda and get wet all over. Now it's interesting, I'm not sure if that Volga car in the background on the left behind the girl, I know it's hard to notice, I'm not sure if that car was available when this type of pop machines were in service, because when I was in 80s and early 90s, I don't remember that type of design. As red pop machines, we had the boring gray color, was designed a little bit differently. Okay, so here we got actually some kind of safety message, but mostly about being efficient at your work. It says, "Не теряй рабочих минут." Don't waste your working minutes by staring at people passing by. Safety posters related to driving. Избегайте резкого торможения. Avoid sharp braking. There's a cute picture of girls dancing on the desk, which is really not a safe way to celebrate. And of course, you probably would recognize the poster on the right with the message "Нет," no. I used it in my story about Soviet son-in-law test. And on the left, it's the portrait of Leonid Brezhnev with his big giant eyebrows. Another safety poster, and it says, "Filming crew, don't forget about harnesses when you work out in the field. Съемочная группа, не забывая страховки при работе на выезде." There is no safety message in this picture, but it shows a classic Soviet situation. You have dvornik, a guy with the broom. So every building had a dvornik, a person who would be sweeping the grounds, sweeping the stairs, and making everything organized, carrying trash from the building into trash bin. And then have this lady who's working some kind of plumbing issues, working someone's pipe down in the hall. And the final safety message is basically you need to pay attention where you're going, but it says "Уважайте труд уборщиц," respect the work of the cleaning people. So this guy definitely shows some respect, I guess. So I found it pretty funny. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the safety message from the Soviet Union. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. And thanks again for everyone who supports my channel through Patreon and PayPal. We'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye. Hey, by the way, cool merch for cool comrades is available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.